It's the week after Christmas, you're taking down all your Christmas lights in your Christmas tree, and suddenly, the world goes from cheery and full of light to gray and dreary. If that sounds familiar, that heavy, sinking feeling like the joy of the season has been pulled out right from under you, it's most likely seasonal depression creeping in. And it often hits hardest right after Christmas, at least for me. But don't worry, you're not alone. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about why this happens, and most importantly, we're going to talk about how to combat against seasonal depression and make the days ahead brighter. And I want to preface this video by saying these feelings are totally normal, especially around this time. It's really cold out, you don't get outside as much, and after Christmas, it doesn't seem like there's too much to look forward to, and it's tough. It's really, really tough, and I know a lot of my family and friends also deal with this every year around this time, just like I do, and I know a lot of you probably do as well. It's really hard to go back to reality after spending, the past month in such a joyful mood. You got breaks from work, you probably saw family more than usual, Christmas music's literally everywhere you go, and almost everybody's just in a much more joyful mood around that time. And now you're probably sitting at your office or at your 9 to 5, whatever it is you do, and you're probably thinking like, where did that feeling go from last week? Now for me, I haven't started back up my job yet, but I have been dealing with this feeling already, and I'm just sitting here alone in my house. I've already moved out, and I just have these feelings of like, kind of just alone, not feeling lost, but just feeling alone. Like, I just spent Christmas with my family, and there was a whole bunch of people in one house for 2 days straight, and I was traveling back and forth to my other family's houses, and there was so much going on, and seeing everybody with smiles on their faces, everybody's just in such a great mood. Giving people gifts is like one of the best feelings of all time, and you get on this insane high from Christmas of seeing your family. If you're religious, celebrating Jesus' birth, obviously that's huge, and just really just enjoying the time of the holiday. And you come back home and there's just not much going on. So I'm definitely struggling with this right now in my own life, and I just wanted to give you guys some tips on kind of what I usually do to try to combat seasonal depression. And I'm not saying any of these things 100% will work, but some of them have helped me quite a bit, and I want to give you guys some options on what you could do this season. I want to start off with routine reset. I think this is super important. I'm not going to lie, I think this is really important no matter what time of year it is, but kind of reset your routines. Take a step back and say, what's going to make my morning time better right when I get out of bed? Things like making the bed, making sure that you're washing your face every morning, making sure you're getting breakfast in every morning. Not just once or twice a week, but every morning, make it part of your routine. These are small steps that you add to your daily life that continually over time help improve your quality of life. So make sure the things that are improving your life. Don't wake up and just play video games because you want that to be part of your routine. Make sure you're doing things that are improving your quality of life. Something I do every single morning is as soon as I get out of bed, I make the bed, I eat breakfast, and I start my day that way. And I really do feel like it's such an important part of my life that if I didn't do in the morning, I wouldn't feel as ready to go for the day as possible. I think it's also important to get as much exercise in your life as possible. I know a lot of people like me work a 9 to 5, and it can be tough to squeeze in exercise around those hours or in those hours, but try to take your time back as much as possible. If you get about an hour of a lunch break, maybe find some time to just walk around. And do it for yourself. Don't do it because you want to have a six-pack. Just do it for your mental clarity. Exercise can really, really help you out during this time of year. And another way I really implement this into my life is in the morning I take my dog for a walk. And the cold air on my face, it sucks at first, but it really wakes me up and it helps me have a really productive day ahead of me. Exercise is one of those things that not only is it important this time of year, but throughout the entire year. I'm not saying you have to go to the gym 5 days a week, but just do what you can do consistently. If you can go to the gym a couple times a week, then that's perfect. Do whatever works for you, but I truly feel like exercise, it keeps you feeling good, but it also helps you with mental clarity. If you had a tough day, or if you are battling seasonal depression, exercise can really get things off your shoulders and off your chest, literally and physically, but it really will make you feel much better about your life. And I don't know what the science is behind that, but I've done this in my life for years, and every time I go to the gym, whatever was on my mind for that day, it just seems to go away. It's also important around this time of year to make sure you're staying social. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and drink or do anything like that. But, if you like to play video games like me, for instance, then maybe invite a friend to play with you. It helps combat some of that seasonal depression, especially late at night. Because I know that's when the thoughts creep in the most, usually for me at least. And having someone to play games with really helps that mental clarity as well. And especially if it's someone who's also motivated at this time of year, can really help you step out of your comfort zone and kind of help you get into a better headspace as you move forward. Honestly, you're going to probably find out through playing games with friends or hanging out with friends during this time of year. A lot of them probably have the same feelings as you do in regards to Christmas and nostalgia and seasonal depression and moving into the new year. But hopefully, if there's one thing that you guys can all be motivated about, it's that a new year is about to start. The last thing that I really think that you need to keep in mind at this time of year, battling your seasonal depression, is to have a little bit of compassion for yourself and a lot more love for yourself. There's no need to be so hard on yourself for having these emotions and feelings at this time of year. A lot of people are going through it, and it's very, very normal. Make sure you love yourself a little extra this holiday season. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Enjoy your passions a little bit. I always talk about enjoying your passions, but make sure you're playing games if you like to play games. You're going to the gym if you like to go to the gym. You're reading books if you like to read. Do whatever it is you really love, especially if you have any time off, because you won't regret it later on. Especially if you have time off left during this holiday season, make sure you're spending it doing things that you really truly enjoy and things that are beneficial for your mindset and your focus on your life. And I want to preface this again and reiterate the fact that, this might not all work for you. Not all 4 of these things are going to work for you. These are just things that typically work for me. And sometimes, honestly, they don't always even work for me. Sometimes it's really hard to combat your seasonal depression. And if it gets to that point, maybe consider talking to somebody professionally. Overall, that's it for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for all of the kind words and comments lately. And everyone I've met so far on this YouTube journey has just been so incredibly nice and caring and thoughtful. And in a way that's also helped me during these harder times of the year to stay in a good headspace. So thank you to everybody. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, and if you're struggling with seasonal depression, just remember, it will get better.